Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And today I want to take the takeaways that we took away from Week 1 of the Giants-Steelers matchup. My prediction was 21-16. And why was that? Because Bill Belichick's first game as the New England head coach, they lost 21-16. It was a home game against a non-conference foe, and we know what happened. Well, that season they went 5-11, but we know what happened with Tom Brady. He didn't play at the time, but you know, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I think it's an okay comparison. So PFF came out with their grades. I recorded a little bit of a video beforehand, and I'm pretty much going to spew the same opinions that I did, but I'm going to put up on the screen the PFF grades, and they pretty much coincided with what I thought of the game. I didn't really look too much into the offensive line. I thought Andrew Thomas struggled in the beginning. He had a little bit of, I would say nerves in a way. Like, he was getting beaten by the bull rush just a little bit. He got caught above ground and got caught not planting his feet and pushing, but overall, you have to be excited with this Giants team. A lot of Giants fans, when they were predicting this game, they're like, the Giants are going to lose 27-17. Then when we basically lose 27-17, all of a sudden, you know, everybody needs to get fired again. I don't understand. That happened last year with the Patriots. Like, we're given a 1% chance to win. And then all of a sudden we come out, we actually played fairly impressive, and Giants fans expect more. You know, as a Giants fan, we set the expectations low going into the game, and then right before kickoff, we want to win. And that's what I feel like all fans are, but that's especially what we do. I thought that Blake Martinez was impressive. Some plays, he had a little bit of a lack of speed, but did you guys know that Isaiah Simmons got a 27.1 PFF grade? Did you guys know that? Isaiah Simmons, yeah, that guy. The guy that we were going to pick at number 4 overall. Yeah, he got a 27.1 PFF grade. Andrew Thomas got a 60. I'm not basing my opinion just on the PFF grade, but you know, we could see he was the bright spot in this team. Will Hernandez struggled. Kevin Zeitler probably had his worst game. I think it was a little bit of coaching in a way. I think their defensive line, their talent, and their coaching, which is better than ours. We saw that with T.J. Watt backing up into coverage. And those plays happen. It is what it is. You know, people compare Daniel Jones to Jameis Winston and the fact that they both have so many turnovers. Like, the things that they do are great. But let me tell you, Daniel Jones, he's not a good mental processor as far as pre-snap reads, like what he should check to, but like reading stuff on the field now, he's better. He's able to execute plays, and I think that's what Jason Garrett wants. We're not doing too many complex stuff on the offensive line. Eventually, we will. Patrick Mahomes just learned how to read defenses. This is a thing that takes time. Patrick Mahomes, it took him 3 years. It took him 1 year of on the bench, then 2 years of playing to actually realize how to read a defense. And you got to be patient with Daniel Jones, but eventually, let me tell you, these games have to turn into wins. Like, there's so much time we can be like, okay, we're progressing, and I think a lot of Giants fans feel this. It's just like, we were so close that Leonard Williams almost sacked. I think the defensive line needs to do a little bit better. When was the last time you saw one of the Giants guys completely and utterly destroy an offensive lineman? When was the last time you saw something like what happened with Nick Gates, what happened with Cam Fleming, where the guy bent around the edge and completely destroyed somebody? We don't really have that. And I would like to see a little bit more out of Leonard Williams. I know he's been getting double-teamed. I'd like to see that more out of Dalvin Thomas and B.J. Hill. They really need to step it up in this game. As far as certain trades, we're not getting Odell. Odell, in my opinion, Jets, maybe Vikings, things like that. Maybe the Patriots. Those are like my top 3 that I'm thinking of that he might go to, because the Patriots, you know, changing their whole system. Why not add Odell to the mix? Why not? You know, they feel like they're accumulating a lot of draft picks and stuff. Spend one on Odell. You know, you think you have something out of Cam Newton. They may just drive him into the ground this year and go after a quarterback in next season. But you're going to have the 15th pick. It's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to trade a package to get up to number 1. You're going to get some of those second-tier quarterbacks. You may be able to get a Dak Prescott or something like that on the market. But we'll see. And they're in for getting things cheaply. I don't think they'll be looking to trade a package all the way up. I don't think that's what's going to happen. As far as Allen Robinson, why would we bring him on? What would be the benefit of bringing Allen Robinson onto our team? First of all, we'd have to trade a lot for him. Maybe package like a B.J. Hill, because we have a lot of depth on that defensive line. Like B.J. Hill, he's a solid rotational guy. He keeps our guys fresh. Maybe B.J. Hill in a second, a third, for an Allen Robinson who, you know, contract speech, he's trying to get higher leverage now. He's not trying to hate the Bears. He's not trying to be like one of those guys. So we're going to have to trade a lot for him. I think that teams are going to have to start respecting the pass more, and it could open things up for Saquon Barkley a little bit more, because we play a lot of good defensive lines this year. And, you know, if those defensive lines, you know, all of a sudden you have a matchup with Allen Robinson, this guy's speedy, this guy can find a zone, and he has 30 hands. I mean, he's going to love Daniel Jones. We've seen a lot of wide receivers that are just like, with Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs didn't like him. Yeah, Kirk Cousins was accurate this week. You saw with Baker Mayfield. Odell doesn't like him. People like Daniel Jones. They like playing with him. They have high praise for him, and they trust Daniel Jones, even though he makes some boneheaded decisions every once in a while. He's that girl with the buck teeth. That's what he is. He's the girl that, like, oh, she's so beautiful, and she smiles, just like, And there's that one thing that you're not too sure, but I think Daniel Jones, he's good enough. He's better than the Sam Darnold pick. And I've been kind of being like all over the place in this episode. As far as Evan Ingram, I don't know what to do with him. His trade value is very low right now, so I don't think of trading him right now to the Patriots or something like that. Our weakness on this team is probably offensive line, that right tackle spot. I said that's a problem. I made 2 videos titled why Nate Solder is a bad thing, dropping out is a bad thing, and then why Fleming could be a problem for this team. I have 2 separate videos on that. And, we saw it really last week. Fleming, he didn't want to get a holding penalty, so he let a free rein at Daniel Jones. And that's concerning. And with Saquon Barkley, we all know the Tiki Barber thing. My opinion is about that. When is Joe Judge going to move off Saquon Barkley? We know the Patriots scheme and style, that where the NFL is going is that 3 running back position. It's that, killer mentality. But we have 3 running backs right now. Deion Lewis, Wayne Gallman, Saquon Barkley. Are we pressured just to put Saquon there every single play? I don't think we should be, because these guys didn't draft Saquon Barkley. Dave Gettleman, hands off. Hands off, and just say, put the best thing on the field. Put the best group of people on the field right now. And, with Deion Lewis, switch things up. He only had 1 running play. Switch things up with Deion Lewis, Wayne Gallman, Saquon Barkley. Because then defenses don't know what to expect. You have a lot of 2 running back sets, and that can open up things for Saquon Barkley. And a final point that I want to mention is, can the Giants actually win the NFC East? Now, we know NFC East is kind of a shit show. The Dallas Cowboys are an injury away. They're a Tyron Smith injury. They're a Dontari Poe injury away from being a pretty shitty team. Their secondaries and their offensive line feels like it's regressing. Oh, but they have amazing wide receivers. That's the Atlanta Falcons. That's the Cleveland Browns. So, let's say they can easily go 7-9. They play the same teams we do, like in the Ravens, the Steelers, and things like that. They have a tough schedule. They play the NFC West as well. And then the Eagles, they feel like they're being decimated by injuries. Now, I think they can come on late as they get more healthy. You have decent wide receiver core now. You brought in Jalen Reagor, but Sean Jackson, is he going to get injured again? I don't know. Their offensive line, Brandon Brooks is out for the season. Now you're trusting a 38-year-old Jason Peters to be on that offensive line. I don't really like that for them. And then the Washington football team, as much as you want to say, they're executing their game plan. They have a great defensive line. But it's going to be, by the way, it's going to be so interesting when the Giants play them, defensive line versus offensive line. I'm going to love that matchup. To see Andrew Thomas face Chase Young is going to be amazing. But they have unproven wide receivers. They have an unproven secondary. And if you just get the ball out real quick, Saquon Barkley has proven that he can destroy this team. And we feel like we have an edge on the Washington football team whenever we play them. So if we can rack up get at least 8 wins this season, we're in contention to win this division. And yeah, I'm not saying we will. I'm saying, like, even though we're 0-1 and there's no such thing as like a moral victory, it could get kind of interesting here. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.